We also had some things to celebrate. Holly McNally, the assistant principal here, was named Administrator of the Year. Emmy Brown, an 8th grader here, was the recipient of the Dr. Louis G. Romano Scholarship. And Gretchen Zerl cover, so that her artwork was on the program on the cover of this conference. And I was overwhelmed with the number of sponsorships and people that came to make this conference great. Some of them, the Brownell PTO, of course, always there, led by Kat Beckerman. Mrs. Nancy Cotton, I called her, hey, I need some guidance. She came, and the work that she did on and boots on the ground was unbelievable. The Sugar Bar Cafe came here and provided food, as the Village Market provided bags for everyone. The Cabbage Patch Saloon put on a pre-conference little party for us, and Sharon Drew made homemade pasta. Alicia Carlisle, owner of the pub, did a great deal of work. And the Board of Education, your support, and Dr. Tuttle for this conference. But I had a Grosse Pointe Public Schools MAMSI team up here on stage. Keith Howell, he was there, supported me, just made me feel like we could do this and build confidence around me. Dr. Chris Stanley in the back, he was unbelievable. Kate Sharp, office manager here, Melissa Frame, our ELA department chair, Shelley Garland, our coach in the district, Amy Jo Calloway Burke, department chair for social studies, Corey Webster. I could list and go on and on. Just what a great conference. So just wanted to let everybody know about the great things. There were here almost 40 Grosse Pointe Public School employees who gave up their own Saturday to learn and get better at their craft. And 7 of the 40 led conference sessions to speak. The MAMSI peeps who were there were astounded. It was one of the greatest conferences they've said they've ever had. So hats off to the Grosse Pointe Public Schools. The other, on the left-hand side, we had, as did many of our middle schools, all of them, we had lots of students who were recipients of the Citizenship Award through the Daughters of the American Revolution. And up there on the left, Mrs. Barb Davis, a retiree of the Grosse Pointe Schools, leads the Daughters of the American Revolution. Our 8th grader Dylan Phillips won this award, as did Will Temkin in there, and Adrian Collinson and Sam Broughton. So we had some great individuals, and Mrs. Elise Thompson, she leads that. But I'm going to conclude here with Bella, who you see up there. She is the recipient years ago. I'm trying to remember, I think when you were in 6th or 7th grade, you got the Citizenship Award? 7th grade, so she got the Citizenship Award, but this year she entered into one of their essay contests. And we went there, and she won the local essay contest. And when we were there, we realized, oh my gosh, she won the states. Friday, she won the national essay contest. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. I've been around a little while. I don't know if I've had a national essay winner here in the Grosse Pointe Public Schools, but I'm going to stop talking, which is tough to do, and I want to hand this mic over to who really deserves it, and that's Bella. And Bella's going to read her essay to us all that is now the National Championship Essay.
Hello, I'm Bella, and thank you so much for the great introduction, Mr. Helmick, and congrats to everybody here. So this is my essay award, and the topic was Sparkling in the Stars for the 50th anniversary of the NASA Space Shuttle program. And here it is. All right, gather around, you little rascals, I chuckled, my voice hoarse from the years of laughter and shouting orders. My 3 grandkids, wide-eyed and fidgety, crowded around me on the crisp autumn grass, their faces reflecting the golden glow of the setting sun. Grandpa Tom, tell us about the space shuttles again, squealed Maya, the youngest, pigtails bouncing with excitement. Not just any space shuttles, Maya, I corrected, winking. These were the ones that touched the stars, the ones that sang with the moon. I saw a flicker of curiosity in their eyes, the same spark I used to chase across the star charts in my childhood. But this time, it was mixed with something else, a faint echo of the tragedy that would forever etch itself in my soul. The 50th anniversary of the NASA Space Shuttle program was in full swing, a bittersweet symphony of celebration and remembrance. Thousands had gathered around the vast Texas sky where the ghost of Columbia and her crew still danced in the wind. I cleared my throat, the past scratching at the back of my mind. You see, I began, I wasn't just a spectator to the story. I was a part of it, a failed cog in the machine. And just like that, I was sucked into the memory of the past. The fluorescent lights hummed, casting a startled glare across the tense faces in the machine control room. The air crackled with the static of 1,000 anxieties, all focused on a single point, the ghostly silhouette of Columbia on the screen, orbiting Earth like a lost balloon. I gripped the edge of the console, knuckles white, as John Harpold, the flight director, droned on about optimism and safe re-entry. I wanted to scream. Every fiber in my being screamed. We both knew it was nonsense. We'd known since launch, when the foam from the fuel tank tore away like a vulture's claw, gouging the shuttle's wing. We can't just sit here and let them die, I burst out, barely recognizing my voice. Atlantis should have already been ready to mount a rescue, but maybe we can still use it. John's tired eyes flickered to me, a flicker of anger mixed with resignation. Tom, we've been over this. It's too risky. Risky? Risky is letting them burn up in the atmosphere, blissfully unaware of the flames licking at their backs. My voice cracked raw with desperation. They deserve a chance, John, a chance to fight. A murmur rippled through the room. Some nodded, eyes welling with tears. Others, like John, remained static, their faces masked of grim acceptance. No, John said, his voice heavy. We can't tell them. It's better this way. A quick death, painless. Mercy. Mercy? My stomach churned. This wasn't mercy. It was cowardice. We were playing God, deciding their fate from the startled comfort from our chairs. They were astronauts, not lambs, who led to the slaughter. They deserved the truth, a chance to grapple with the abyss, to choose their ending. Coward, I roared, my voice echoing the cavernous room. We're engineers, not executioners. We have options. We can't just sit here and watch them burn. The room erupted. Shouts of anger, fear, and desperation clinged to John's decision. I was dragged out, the door slamming behind me like a tombstone closing. The days that followed were a blur of agony. I was not allowed into the building, and the mission continued a charade of smiles and reassurances, and for ears that would never hear them. I wandered the halls, a ghost haunting my life, the weight of their silent screams crushing my chest. And then the inevitable. Columbia's fiery re-entry was the searing spectacle that painted the sky with death. The room fell silent, tears mixing with the sweat of desperate efforts. John's face, etched with regret, mirrored the pain in my soul. We had failed them, not because we couldn't, but because we wouldn't. We chose ignorance over hope, fear over action, and in this choice, we condemned 7 brave souls to a silent, fiery tomb. The years that followed were a haunted journey. I saw their faces in every scar and heard their laughter in the wind. The guilt, a constant companion, gnawed at my insides. But amidst the darkness, a flicker of defiance remained. Their sacrifice wouldn't be in vain. I wouldn't let it be. I spoke out, challenged the status quo, and fought for the transparency. It was an uphill battle, but the tide began to turn with each voice that joined mine. Slowly, NASA started listening to its engineers, valuing their concerns over naive optimism. The Columbia tragedy, a scar etched with our collective memory, became a catalyst of a change. We learned the bitter truth. Honesty is the only path to safety, even in the face of fear. Hope, however fragile, is a lifeline worth fighting for. And I, the voice in the wilderness, became the guardian of that hope. I carry their memory with me, a burning ember in my heart, a promise whispered to the stars. We will never let them die in silence again. As my voice trailed off, the silence hung heavy with the weight of the story, the weight of the lesson learned too late. I looked into my grandkids' eyes, searching for understanding, for acceptance, for a promise. I told them, remember the shuttles, remember their dance, their fire, their sacrifice, but most importantly, remember their silence. Remember that it is our duty, your duty, to never let it happen again. Never let fear silence any voice.